It should come as no surprise that there is a lot of attention focused on Nvidia in particular, Carter, especially after several hyperscalers released or revised their forecasts for capital expenditures on AI in particular. Armchair technicians will remember June 20th as a pivotal day for Nvidia in terms of reaching a new high and then closing near the lows on extremely strong volume, even if the fundamentals appear to remain intact. Do you think we'll look back on that day as a true technician and say it was a turning point? Because, well, it did kind of foreshadow the sell-off that we've been seeing since early July. Indeed, there are crucial reversal days that do occur, and you're pointing it out precisely. The market experienced one of those lows in October 2022. It denotes a crescendo, either panic selling, which follows selling, or panic buying, where something keeps rising until eventually no one is left, and then intraday, which is like a child falling off the chin-up bar, exhausted, with no buyers left, and it keeps going down and down and down. We are down significantly, Nvidia is down, and semis are down almost 25% overall. Since we're still so far down, it would take a lot to recover those losses, but in many respects, what Nvidia says will assist boost the bulls. In terms of the market, I believe that the year's highs are in earnings. I believe it's because the AI reassessment is happening at the same time. Nvidia is 25% down at its peak. And one of the market's major exciting sources of energy suffered a haircut at the same time. So the macro questions were beginning. It clarifies our current situation. Take a look at the S&P's lows this week, which are barely around 5,100. It's a couple of percent higher than where we were following the retreat in April. It's still a really respectable gain so far this year. You still haven't experienced your entire 10% setback, and it still feels like we're in the upper end of the range. I believe that's in the typical range because, well, you nearly had it in the S&P. However, I believe the reason people are tense is because it didn't happen in a typical manner. I believe that the worldwide market movement from overnight till Monday's open will have a slight half-life in terms of people being reluctant to take on risk again. A new read from this morning's travels, welcome back. Taiwan Semi's July revenue increased by 45% over the previous year. The company's AI chips were in high demand, which is why a significant outperformer for the year. Shares are, well, bouncing around along the flat line here. Well, Nvidia is obviously one of their major clients, and this week's stock has been slashed. The corporation just had its greatest day of the month, but since mid-June, when it was at its peak, its market capitalization has dropped by around $1 trillion. Let's talk more about that name. Bernstein's Stacy Raskin is joining us, along with a number of other semis. It's always nice to have you around, Stacy. Let's start with Nvidia. This week, there have been some reports of delays, which may be due to some sort of Blackwell design flaw. Well, just share your thoughts with me. What will it imply, and is it real? Yes, there appears to be enough fire and smoke for it to sound plausible. Other supply chain participants have provided us with some confirmation. Supermicro made a passing reference to it. So it doesn't seem that big, does it? It appears to be a really minor design flaw. It appears like they may have already resolved the issue. There may be a delay of 2 to 3 months. What that actually indicates, in my opinion, is that there was a slight push out because people were expecting real volume shipments to occur in calendar Q4, but it appears that they might come in Q1. It's important to keep in mind that this stuff is challenging, so even Nvidia may not be immune to it. However, in the meanwhile, we have got hyperscale capital expenditure guides that continue to rise. Well, whatever is happening would have been included into all of those. They didn't just learn about this, because the first 50 customers receive 50% off anything in our store for a short period of time. Don't pass this up. This deal won't be around for long. Hurry immediately to save a ton of money. Be among the first 50, so act quickly. Use the link beneath the new store to shop right now. We've included it. Nvidia has a high demand for their current architecture, known as Hopper, and it appears that they are trying to backfill and smooth things out until the Blackwell actually launches, in greater volume, perhaps a quarter later. However, in terms of structure, I don't believe it's that big of a problem right now. Now, it's obvious that sentiment has affected the stock. Two aspects, in my opinion, have affected the stock. First, there has been a broad decline in attitude regarding the AI industry as a whole. People are only now beginning to see how much money is being spent. The sentiment wasn't quite as encouraging as it had been because they are questioning where the return is, and this adds to the weight of it. I mean, that's sort of what's been happening, but I don't think Nvidia has changed all that much architecturally. We were pushed out a bit. It should be all right. All right? Okay. Oh, hey, as you say, demand is still there, so demand is demand. What about the stock itself, the multiple, and what we've seen in terms of that? Does that, I suppose, make it even more appealing from the viewpoint of someone like you? As you can see, Nvidia has never been very costly. It was around 40 times ahead earnings even at its height, and the sell-side forward number on which it is based is probably still too low. It's actually not that expensive. Minus 40 times is roughly its 5-year median, or 5-year average. At the very least, it's cheaper now, probably 30 times cheaper. I believe you have somewhat de-risked it, such as going into the back half, but if they do announce a delay and confirm it on the call, then everyone is somewhat aware of it at this point. So yes, we can sort of resolve this. Demand still appears to be very high. It actually improves the appearance of the following year if you're pouring volume into it. Again, ideally, there are more positive numbers. Yes, I believe that this pricing is still quite appealing. There is a rumor that we've been seeing concerning the Blackwell chip delay and what it would mean for certain customers, such as Microsoft, Google, and Meta. How's that tale going for you? Do you believe this will make a difference? Regarding Nvidia, I believe that they may experience a delay of up to 90 days in the release of the Blackwell series chip. But in the interim, their technological advancements will be so advanced that no one will be able to take market share from them. Their revenues, in my opinion, will just be delayed for a quarter or two. Since they are the most crucial link in the AI supply chain, it will undoubtedly have an effect on the development of AI infrastructure for some of those hyperscalers. As we refer to the 4 large corporations in the United States that are investing billions upon billions of dollars in this endeavor. I am aware that Sam touched on this topic, and she brought up the issue of the AI hype and being bullish on technology in general, but becoming particular. Do you believe that pressure will increase to the negative if an activist fund manager with the stature of Elliott Management claims that these companies are overheated and that there is AI overhype? I think we need to make a distinction between what I refer to as AI 1.0 and AI 2.0. I still feel very comfortable with AI 1.0. You know, those are the names of the companies that develop infrastructure, usually semiconductor companies, data networking companies, and data server companies. The 4 hyperscalers have recently stated in their conference calls that they will invest a total of $227 billion on AI infrastructure over the course of the next 12 months, although I suppose no one makes such a commitment. They also claim that their capital expenditures will increase from that extremely high base in the next year, so I don't think they're going to alter those projections. I like all of those stocks then. I don't own any AI 2.0 equities since I haven't been convinced by them yet. These are the companies that assert that they will have these amazing revenue-generating goods using AI on the other side after all the infrastructure building expenditures. I'll believe it when I see it, but I just need the AI 1.0 stocks to support my theory. I don't now require the AI 2.0 stocks.